So we've got Justin Huggins. Where are you calling in from, Justin?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
That's not too far from me. It's like 5 hours south, I think, right?
Not too bad. I could drive there if I had to.
Well, you should have. We could have done an in-person interview.
Yeah,
5 hour drive one way for a 15-minute interview. That seems
yeah,
worth it.
yeah. I can do it sometime if you really want me to.
I think that'd be great. We're going to have an event here in July, the middle of July, actually. We're going to have a first DealMachine meetup. So be on the lookout for that if that's something you want to road trip up here with your partner or friend or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Justin, tell me about why did you schedule this call? Did you have a deal that you ended up? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, you took off your headphones. I thought you were done and walked away.
That way I can hear you better now. Yeah,
I got you.
it's loud. Yeah. So my wife runs our marketing campaign. Me and her are a family team. That's how we wanted to brand ourselves. That we're the Chip and Joanna Gaines of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So she runs our marketing, and every time we get a deal or anything, we post it to our Instagram. We just put a 12 house package under contract and lined up a buyer the same day for all 12. And so she had
12. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. I've I've heard of the buyer. I had never met him before, but
Hmm.
I called his broker, who is a partner with him in a property management company, and said, I know he would buy this. I think he's
Hmm.
interested in it. Get in contact with him and see what he thinks." And he was interested right away.
Okay. So you're wholesaling these, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how long have you guys been wholesaling? Like, didn't you feel like nervous putting 12 houses under contract at once?
I did a little bit. This was a unique situation. The biggest thing is you have to be able to show the properties. They did not. 9 of them are occupied, and they did not want to show them multiple times.
Yeah.
So before I put under contract, I wanted to know that I had a buyer on the back end so we could walk through once.
Hmm.
Uh, but I've been wholesaling for a little over 3 years. I started in 2016. I had a full-time job at an insurance company processing claims. I was on the phone
Okay.
all day. Did great at the job. It was a great place to work. Um, Put a house under contract with my mentor at the time. It was a $9,000 deal. We split that, and it was the easiest money I'd ever made. Uh,
I love that. That's great.
yeah. So I tell people up front, after taxes, it was a $52,000 a year job. I brought home, $2,800 a month
Hmm.
averaged out. And so when you bring home 4,500, that changes everything real fast.
Oh my
So
gosh.
in March of 2018,
And
uh,
here's the thing. I feel like $50,000 was like a lot, like before
yeah,
I knew about wholesaling.
yeah,
Like
yeah, it
that's
was,
not minimum wage. Like that's quite a bit above. That's like the median household income, I believe, for the United States right there.
yeah. So it was a pretty good job. So I kept
Yeah.
it. Was making we I was wholesaling with my mentor and partner
Hmm.
for that whole time. Um, and it's kind of funny. So in December of 2017, my manager called me over and said, "Hey, HR does scans on your computer, and they found purchase agreements on there." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh my gosh.
And
Oh
he's
my
like,
gosh.
"There was a lot of purchase agreements or a lot of contracts." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I didn't get all the houses, but I got most of them." And he was like, "Well, just don't do it anymore." Because of that, he tried to impact my bonus, and I was the highest performing person on the team. And so he
Wow.
gave me a deal that was rather low. And yeah, it
Oh,
was pretty low. So that
come
changed my
on, man.
mentality.
Right.
So me and my wife had talked going into work January 2nd. I knew I was going to quit March 28th.
Yeah.
I got my bonus on March 28th and quit, and put in my 2 week notice. They didn't make me work it out, and they paid me. And so I've done wholesaling ever since.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you, man. That's terrible. You were the highest performing person on the team, and he was just jealous or he didn't like that you were doing other activities as well?
I think that he said you did. The mentality was I didn't need the money because I had money coming from other situations. And let's
Oh
all
no.
we show up to work to make money. So I wanted the money if I was showing up to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. So like, where did these 12 properties come from? Was it just like one house that you noticed, or how did that happen?
Yeah, so there's one house. It was actually in an LLC. So if anybody ever sees trust or LLCs, corporate owned on DealMachine, that's not a scary thing. It doesn't have to be
Oh my
absolutely
gosh.
all the time. So
Just pause and repeat that right there, because I see people talk in the community group all the time, and they say we don't mail to trusts and we don't mail to LLCs. They're like, we only want owner occupied, and I'm like, I think you're missing out.
yeah, definitely. Because yeah, I sent a postcard on it because I've bought from LLCs all the time and wholesaled their properties. There's nothing different about it. It may be a a big company, it may be a small company that's one or two people like our company is.
Right.
So
Well,
you never know.
I think some of the concerns expressed with reaching out to LLCs is that you can't skip trace them easily. How do you get in touch with them?
I just mailed the postcard off the DealMachine app.
There you
So
go.
I do something that's a little bit different. So from listening to your podcast and watching your videos and everything like that, one of the marketing factors that you guys came up with was if you put a little picture of yourself on the card, then you're going to get a high response rate. So I took that to the next level. So I
Okay.
get in my car and I stand in front of a house and I take a selfie with me giving a thumbs up. I always use my left hand to show my wedding ring that I'm a family man person. And I send them a postcard with my face on it. So I've seen a huge response rate due to that. And people sometimes think that I've photoshopped myself
Yeah.
with the Google Maps photo. And I'm like, no, that's really me.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
seen the house and I want to buy your house.
Uh, I love that. I love that so much. What's your response rate in terms of, how many postcards are you sending out? Or if you send out 100, like what type of calls would you expect to get back from that?
So I knew I was getting about, if I sent out 40, I could
Okay.
probably get.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
yeah. So
Well, some of
looking at,
that's location based too, for those listening.
yeah.
Chattanooga may be a different market than you're in.
Yeah. So looking at since January of this year, um, total, I've spent $3,346.50 on marketing with DealMachine alone.
So
Uh,
3,000, you said?
yeah,
Okay.
3,300. Uh, profit, we've made $41,302 this year off of Deal.
I love that. I love
So
that.
that's a 1,234% return on investment.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's where, in the industry, 300% is good. But I get a lot of people that, you have to brand yourself. I decided I wanted to be the family company. I wanted to remain small and I wanted to remain local. I've done virtual deals in Charlotte, in Birmingham, and in Atlanta before, but I'm now just totally the North Georgia counties that are close to Tennessee and Chattanooga.
Okay.
So, like, I got a duplex under contract yesterday for 27,000 from a guy who said all these out of town people keep calling me, but I want to use you because you're local,
Hmm.
and
And
that
your
was a deal.
picture was on his postcard too, right?
Yeah, that was a DealMachine. He said he thought it was his nephew who lives on the property because I look like his nephew, and so that was
Yeah.
part of what he called.
Oh,
Is
that's
because
great.
wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So you looked like him almost. I mean, not him, but his nephew, right? So like
yeah,
he felt comfortable because that's interesting. So tell me
yeah.
this, when you're doing the picture, what kind of pose are you striking? Are you using a selfie stick? Are you just like sticking your hands out? You're giving them a thumbs up right in front of their property?
Always smiling, give a thumbs up, and you want to look at the camera, don't want to look over the camera. That way
Hmm.
you're looking in the picture, you're looking at the person. The house is always in the background.
Hmm.
Uh, so I've done this for over 1,000 houses in Chattanooga. I've only been stopped one time by someone saying, "Hey, are you taking a picture of my house?" And it was the person across the street. And I was
Right.
like, "No, I'm actually taking a picture of this house." And she's like,
Yep.
"Oh, I know the owner." Okay, great. Can I get their phone number?
Yes. That's
I've only had
something you
one
just
person
touched
stop.
on. Yeah. When somebody, so a lot of people will say, I feel strange taking a photo of this house. And they kind of like do it in like a weird way so nobody sees them. And what I'm trying to convey to them is, stand out proud, like you're taking that photo. And then
Yeah,
when somebody asks you, instead of acting weird, tell them the truth. Say you're looking to buy a house on this street. You really like this house. It just
yeah.
goes over a
And
lot
that's what,
better than if you're acting shady, and trying to like hide and run
yeah.
away if somebody comes and sees you taking a photo. And it starts a good conversation, right? You got that guy's phone number.
Mhm. Yeah, and you got to get a little bit uncomfortable in this business to make bigger profits. If
Mm-hmm.
you just remain in your zone of comfortable in your circle, you won't make the progress you're actually wanting to make.
Yep. I
And
think that's
that's
a
where
really good reminder at all levels, because I feel like you can even get comfortable with where you're at, even if you're making 6+ figures.
mm,
And I feel like to grow, there's really additional steps that you'll need to take.
yeah. And one of the reasons I put my picture on the card is because some people may feel like you violate their privacy. You have mailed to them, even though it's public information. So I'm giving them my phone number, but I'm also giving them my face. Like, I'm not hiding behind a name. The company name for our name is Huggins Homes LLC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hiding behind a corporation or anything like that. I'm the person who saw your house. I'm the person who's going to come out and give you an offer in your house, and I'm the person who's going to buy your house. So that's the process that we're going through and trying to convey that we are the small mom and pop company that isn't around anymore. We've lost that art, and people want that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're ourselves as.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, is it your wife that's your partner with you?
Yeah, with that
Okay.
one, I've had previous partners before, but with Huggins Homes, it's me and my wife. She's our transaction coordinator, marketing specialist, and social media and bookkeeper. She's also a school teacher and in her doctorate program at the University of Alabama. So she's got a full plate.
Wow. Wow.
Mm.
She's doing a lot.
Yeah, she is.
So does she ever add properties to the Deal Machine app?
She does. So me and her are the two people that are on there, and she
Mm-hmm.
goes through. Um, she doesn't want to take her picture in front of it, so we do different postcards. If there's no picture of me in front of the house, then there's the Megan's postcard that talks from her point of view and everything, and then there's the Justin's postcard if my face is on it. You'll find that everybody should find that more people will call women back off of postcard if their
Mm-hmm.
name is on it. So I do get a lot of response rate from her cards
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I have not personally done marketing with a woman's name on it, but I just hear that time and time again that on the phone or on the postcards, people just respond to women,
Yeah, it's
which is
true.
neat.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Well, where are you going to go from here, Justin? Are you going to keep doing, 40 Deal Machine postcards a week, or what are your plans going forward?
Oh, now I'm trying to put out as many postcards as I can. If I'm
Okay.
getting, $12 for every dollar I spend,
Right.
like, I'm going all out.
Yeah.
Uh, So I'm trying to send as many as I possibly can, but I know if I send 40, I'll get a call.
Yeah.
Driving for dollars is how I get my list. If you pull a list, everybody else can pull that same list. No one can compile a driving for dollars list. Um, in the houses we've closed also that I don't list into the profit, I've bought 2 rentals also during this process. So bought one, it's already rented out, had that lined up, did
Hmm.
a lease option on it with a $6,000 down payment. It'll cash flow $150 a month. I won't have to make repairs. When they close, I'll make another 6,000, and it's just sitting there. But I get
Okay.
to write taxes and everything like that, which is awesome.
That is
Uh,
awesome.
yeah,
Congrats.
Yeah, I just bought another one. It was actually in such good shape that I did not think that they were going to sell it, but they
Okay.
sold it to me at a discount still. They wanted it 30 days to move. They're buying a new house, and they did not want to list it with an agent. They did not want to have to show it 100 times, go through that hassle, get under contract, get out of contract. They needed a down payment for another house. So I got one of my financial partners to back it. We closed on it. They should move out. I've given them until June 30th. They're supposed to close on their other house June 21st. We'll go in there and paint it. I've done the exterior stuff I need to do, but we'll go in there and paint it and rent out for $12.75 a month and cash flow $450 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Are you going to build more rental portfolios long term? Is that what your goal is?
Yeah. My goal 100% is to own rentals. Like
Yeah.
that's the way that I want to retire. Currently I own 15 properties with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife own 4 properties. We actually just sold a duplex that we flipped this year. And now we're taking that money. And one of the things is you can learn through this is creative financing. Like we made $35,000 off this rental. We had lived in it for 2 years. So you have a homestead exemption.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm turning around and leveraging that money. So I put an offer in on a duplex, rented at $900 a month for offered $65,000, but I'll pay $10,000 down. So really, I'm only going to pay $10,000 and buy a duplex that's cash flowing.
That's great. And then for those listening, the homestead exemption means you pay about half the taxes as if it were a rental property, right? And then you get like a good rate on your mortgage if you're going to finance it, right? Is that kind of what the benefit is?
So I'm talking about the federal homestead exemption versus the state, where if you live in a property for 2 of the last 5 years, you don't have to pay capital gains on the profit.
Okay. All right.
So it's completely tax-free money.
Because otherwise, if you sell a house for a profit, what's the tax rate on those capital gains? 15%?
Yeah, up to 33%, depending on how long you've held it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that could be a very big chunk.
Yeah. So we started out, we bought a duplex, lived in one side, rented the other side out. Me and my wife did. We lived there and then bought one on her credit and moved into another duplex, lived there for 2 years. Our goal was to buy 5, and it was going to be a 10-year plan. We got some owner financing abilities that helped us acquire the 15 other properties with my partner, and that sped up our process to where now we built our dream home already.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Well, congrats, Justin. Sounds
Yeah.
like things are all going really, really well. Did you mention that you had a mentor going into this?
Yeah, that's how I started. I recommend everybody have a mentor. I'm not personally a mentor. I don't have a training program, anything like that. But I recommend that everybody get a mentor. And if you have to pay for it, that's great. It's worth the investment. You need that guidance. You want to take action, but you need some guidance with your action.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan on like self-help. I'm always a person who wants to do it myself. But there have been like 4 or 5 different things where I've gone ahead and I've either like purchased a course or directly hired like a coach, to work with for several months. Not specifically in real estate, but just in other areas of my life. And I can just say like, it really just speeds up. It speeds up your learning curve by a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of that, and love the fact that you can just really like learn so much in a really short time when you're working with somebody who knows the ropes.
Yeah, I agree. And that's how I got where I am, is because I had a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
He had been doing it for 15 years and knew what he was doing. And there's stuff that we've done, like clearing up title issues. He had done everything previously. So whenever I've had to go through and clear title issues, I've had someone who's like, oh, we can just do X, Y, and Z and fix this.
Yeah. Is your mentor still mentoring others? Should we give him a shout out?
He is. His name's David Olds. He is still mentoring and partnering with other people. He owns way more rentals than I do. He's the partner that I own 15 rentals, but he owns 50 or more by himself. So he's
Well,
he's
David is a DealMachine member as well. I recognize that name, and his wife is Heather, I believe.
Yes, she is. They're great people. And they taught me everything I knew going into this. That's how I got established. That's how I they told me, hey, you need to buy a duplex. These are the benefits of why, and got me started in real estate completely.
That's neat. Well, Justin, we've now gotten to the point where I get to reward you with a DealMachine hat and any other swag that you might be interested in. So I'll send you a link after this for you and your wife to go pick out a hat or something else from the swag store.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd want to share before we wrap this up?
My biggest thing is I try to tell people, if you don't know how to start, or at any point, if I know I need to get a deal, I need to make money, I always know that I can go driving for dollars and mail to people, and that it always works. I know the process works every time. It
does. And DealMachine just makes it a little bit easier. We didn't invent anything, we just made that process a lot easier for you, so that you don't forget to follow up whenever you're doing it. When all those manual tasks start stacking up, they're just done for you. So Justin, thanks again for calling in. And this is one of my favorite recordings that we did already. And I love it because you talked about the LLCs that you've had a lot of success with. I think that's a point that's just like totally different than the majority of people out there. And there was one other point too that really, really struck a chord with me. And that was making it one step further when you were talking about getting personal, and then you put your selfie in the photo. I just love both of those.
Yeah. I just want to share everything I know. I don't try to hold anything back.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Justin. This is going to be a good one.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
See ya.